Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about the brand new movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife. This of course is a follow-up to the 1984 movie, Ghostbusters, starring Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd. The new movie, Afterlife, stars McKenna Grace, Paul Rudd, and Finn Wolfhard. And it's about a young character named Phoebe, played by McKenna Grace, going on a brand new Ghostbusters adventure that might just connect to some events in the Ghostbusters past. First of all, I'd like to talk about the performances in Ghostbusters Afterlife. McKenna Grace is really good as Phoebe in this movie. Phoebe is the main character in this movie, and not only is Phoebe really well acted, she's very well written, she's a very likable character, and quite frankly, probably one of the best characters I've seen in a new movie this year. She's very likable, entertaining, and definitely a surprise coming out of a reboot of a movie that came out 30 years ago. Usually you have very dry characters. This was very refreshing in that manner. Paul Rudd was also good in this movie. He plays a more fun role. He plays a science teacher who sort of helps Phoebe on the journey that she goes on, and he definitely adds a lot of laughs and fun to the movie. Finn Wolfhard plays Phoebe's brother Trevor. Unfortunately, this movie doesn't really do a ton with him. They try to give him a little bit of a side plot, but it ends up feeling kind of unnecessary and forced. And the side plot with him kind of detracts from the rest of the movie. And they spend a lot of time on that, which I think was really unnecessary in the movie. I gotta say, I know it's shocking, but I only watched the first Ghostbusters a few weeks ago. Somehow I hadn't seen it in all this time. But even to someone who only saw it recently, this movie is definitely very nostalgic, and I think for longtime Ghostbusters fans, it will be very nostalgic. This movie has a lot of elements that will trigger the heartstrings of Ghostbusters fans, or people who just enjoyed the original Ghostbusters movies. There were definitely a few clapping moments in the theater, which is definitely rare, and so for a movie to achieve that is something that's very impressive. I will say, for the most part, this movie is very funny, especially when Phoebe comes in. Those sort of moments are very funny. However, I feel at times the movie gets a little bit too goofy, and not that it's not funny, but it feels like they could have gotten a little bit scarier with Ghostbusters Afterlife. I feel like the original, having seen it recently, was a little bit scarier. There were a few moments that were, mildly scary. And in this movie, I didn't feel that way. I think they definitely could have amped up some of the horror aspects just a tad, and just made it feel a little bit more serious, to be more in tone with the first movie. Overall, the humor hits very well, but I think they could have balanced it just a little bit better. Phoebe and Trevor's mom in this movie is also a pretty weirdly written character. She has a pretty central role in the movie, but oftentimes she just comes across as really mean. And at some points there are reasons why she could be mean justifiably, but for the most part she just seems like a big jerk to everybody, and it doesn't really make sense in the story. She's not really that well written of a character, and sometimes she just feels like a big jerk for no reason, and I really don't understand why they did that. There are a few times where it makes sense why she's acting in a mean way, but for the most part she seems just like a really mean character for no reason, and so I'm really not sure why that's the case. But it's something I noticed while I was watching. How me and the people I was watching the movie with kept joking about how mean she was to the kids. Ghostbusters Afterlife doesn't hit the highs that the original Ghostbusters does, but it was a surprisingly good refresh to the saga. I expected this does well in the box office, they'll make more, and I would be excited to see that. I was very pleasantly surprised with the quality of Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I'm happy to say that it lives up to the Ghostbusters name in my opinion. I'm going to give Ghostbusters Afterlife a 2.5. So, what did you think of Ghostbusters Afterlife? Put it in the comment section down below. Let me know what you thought. I've got a few reviews coming up very soon. I've got King Richard and Kanto and more coming up very soon. So make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to be notified when I post those reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.